Do you ever scroll through your camera roll and think, I should really do something with all of these?
Yeah, same. That's where Chatbooks comes in.
Right now, Chatbooks is offering something we've never done before. 12 monthly mini photo books for just $12, plus free shipping.
That's a full year of printed memories for less than you pay for 1 month of streaming. Go to chatbooks.com/get12 to claim your books now. No stress, no frustrating software. Just pick your photos, and the Chatbooks app does the rest. Printed photos have been proven to boost connection and belonging, and we think everyone deserves that. So what are you waiting for? Go to chatbooks.com/get12. That's chatbooks.com/get12 now and get 12 monthly mini photo books for $12. But hurry, this deal won't last long.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
What that sounds like? Not happening. Alrighty, welcome back to another Wisco Fanatics Tuesday evening. Today we are recapping the Packers' win over the Minnesota Vikings and previewing their Thanksgiving matchup in 2 days against the Detroit Lions. So we're going to hit the intro and get started in the recap.
Welcome to another episode of the Wisco Fanatics Show, where we cover the Packers, Bucks, Brewers, and Badgers basketball and football teams from an optimistic and realistic perspective.
Wisco Fanatics is brought to you by Cardboard Legacy, Wisconsin's most complete sports card shop. Buy, sell, grade, and consign all at their location in Oshkosh.
Alrighty, so jumping into the recap, Jake, I'll start with you and start with the pass rush.
Yeah, so before I get into it, I'm seeing a lot of complaining this year for a team that's 7-3-1. And they made a really aggressive move before the season. So I want people to really appreciate that the Packers traded for Micah Parsons. Please appreciate it.
Still doesn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real. He's been here for 12 weeks, and it still doesn't feel real.
Dude, also, can we take a step back? It's like you wait all year. It feels like all year, like the spring and the summer for the NFL season to come back. And then all of a sudden, bam, you wake up, and it's Thanksgiving, and it's week 12. And you're like, where did the season go? That's crazy. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but I'm like,
I did this weekend. I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, this is already week 12.
Yeah.
Man,
week 13.
Like, oh
we only have, right now, the Packers only have 6 guaranteed games left.
Yep.
Yeah. 6 guaranteed.
October and November both.
Well, because we play the Vikings again.
Yeah, that's fair. So let's get into pass rush, right? So pass rush, Packers had 5 sacks. That was amazing. What a time to be alive. That second half was disgusting. Well, I'm sure we're going to break it down even more as we keep going. But the second half was just filthy. 4 quarterback hits, 2 by Gary, who played much better on Sunday. I will say that. We were talking about him all last week. And I'm sure that if he would have heard the words that we said, he would have taken it as constructive criticism, not us tearing him down. So that's exactly what we meant it as. And he stepped up to the plate. And we weren't the only ones. I've seen lots of people kind of talking about Rashawn Gary this last week. What's up, Reggie? How you doing, buddy? Enagbare had a quarterback hit, and Parsons. If there's a pass rush stat, Parsons is in there. Just going to let you know.
Yeah.
Pressures, I found 8. I don't know if Tyler found a different number. 4 from Brinson, who played really well, got his first career sack. He had a share with McDuffie. McDuffie played fantastic his first of the season, even though it's
another player we gave constructive criticism for.
Another guy we've been giving him.
I'll have some stuff to say when I.
Yeah,
I'm very
to
interested.
make an apology for him just for Isaiah McDuffie, just for Brian to fill out.
Very interested to see what Bryant's going to say. So sacks. Parsons had 2. He's up to 10 on the year, worth every single penny. Every single goddamn penny. I don't care what anybody says. You can complain about his paycheck all you want. The guy's worth every penny. He is the pass rush. When he steps it up to another level, this defense is on another level. There's also something that I'm going to add in when we get to tackling. I think that's Bryant's. I'll let you cover it, but then I got one thing I want to say. Wyatt had 2 sacks. He's up to 4 on the year. This was his first sack since week 2.
Dang.
And what did this defense remind you of in week 12? Did it look a lot like that week 2 defense? Flying around, collapsing the pocket. Quarterback looked lost. Wide receivers were just like, what the hell is going on? Why does my quarterback look like this? Yeah, it felt like week 1 and week 2. I was having a grand old time on Sunday. So pass rush, A+ for me this week. They were absolutely dominant. Night and day difference what this defense looks like when the front 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it, show up.
Yeah, and similarly with the defensive line, again, when we offer criticism, we're not doing it as these guys all suck and they're not doing anything. I was a little harsh when I said that it feels like the defensive line was non-existent in some of these games that we've had where they lost to the Eagles and the Panthers. Those games, those guys weren't making plays. The Packers were getting run over in the run game and not getting as much pressure, both things which we saw improve this week. Devontae Wyatt, like Jake said, his kind of welcome back game, it kind of felt like, even though he still only played about 50% of the snaps, did still have yet 2 sacks this week. The second one, I wanted to give him credit for doing a really good job of keeping his arm up in the passing lane, just making it a little bit harder for JJ McCarthy to try to find his check down, and then while finishing the pursuit. He did also have 2 run stops on his 34 snaps, yet still somehow got a 44.1 PFF grade. So I don't think there's any of us that thought Devontae Wyatt had a 16-point below average game, but that's why we always say take PFF grades with a grain of salt. The stats are great.
That's below average. I can't wait till he plays average.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want to give Caleb Williams too much credit, especially a week before we play them, but he had a lower PFF grade than JJ McCarthy this week.
That sounds accurate.
That's not possible.
I swear to God, I saw a Bears fan post it. I swear to God.
That's got it. It can't be.
No, I saw that because
I didn't look at the photo, but I saw them post it, and I was like, dude, there's no fucking way they said that. There's zero chance they watched McCarthy against the Packers and then watched, Williams throw for 200 plus yards and 3 touchdowns against the Steelers. They're like, yeah, that guy is worse than the guy that played for the Purple.
There's no way that's possible. And if that's true, PFF has no credibility. I'm sorry. People need to stop using them then.
Yeah, like we said, the stats are great. The grades are questionable.
JJ McCarthy would have had a better passer rating if he would have thrown the ball into the ground every time than he had.
I did see that as well.
Yep. Like Jake said, he brought up the pressures numbers. Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons were tied for the team lead with 4. Now, I want to give Rashawn Gary some credit. So his box score won't show how much he affected the game. He gifted Devontae Wyatt one of his sacks. He was credited for a pass defense on McDuffie's interception for knocking the ball out of McCarthy's hands. But his game was much more impactful than his box score would have you believe. So if you see anybody complaining about Rashawn Gary this week, you can just know that they did not actually watch the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought for a while there, people were thinking that they might actually change that to a sack fumble, where he just knocked it forward, but they didn't. They decided not to do that. But
you can thank Gary for that one.
Yeah, that's all. Both that Wyatt sack where he right by the end zone and that McDuffie interceptions are directly because of Gary.
Yep. Yeah. His pass rushing was back. Lucas Van Ness, unfortunately, only played 6 snaps. I'm sure Brian is going to talk about him a little bit when we get into some of the injured designations to watch for next week, so I'm not going to go super in-depth with that. But I wanted to end on Micah Parsons. He is an absolute monster. 2 more sacks, 2 more run stops, beating double and triple teams, and just absolutely pancaking the offensive linemen that the Vikings were so excited to get back.
Yeah. When he ran over Garrett Bradbury or whatever, or the center,
wasn't it?
Kelly. When he ran over Kelly, I was like, oh my gosh.
Turned a 330-pound man into a lawn chair.
He's going to need to wear a guardian cap for his guardian cap getting ran over like that again. Holy shit.
Dude, you know how much that's got to suck as the dude who's got to snap the ball to the quarterback, and you're looking at Devontae Wyatt and Micah Parsons straight on?
That is psychotic. That formation is fucking psychotic, dude. Are you kidding me?
I love when we get into third and like 4 and 5, and I see Micah kind of roaming around center. I'm like, he's getting quick pressure. Like very rarely is he not getting quick pressure.
That's got to be somewhat comparable to what it felt like going against Prime Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Like you just like watching him just dance around back there, like, I don't like that.
He's way too excited to hit somebody over there.
All right, Simon, how did the run defense do?
I thought it was okay. I know there were times where they got a couple long runs out, but like similarly, like you take out a couple of those runs, and I mean they were pretty anemic all day. I think they had a long 22. If you take that out, they averaged like 3.5. And that was by Mason. Kingsley Nagbari had a tackle for loss. Micah can't do run defense. Parsons had a tackle for loss. Gary had 2 stops. Evan Williams had 2 stops. Overall, the Vikings carried the ball 20 times for 93 yards. They had 7 first downs, only forced 3 missed tackles, and the Packers forced a fumble. I thought all in all, like they couldn't get a run established enough to like hold the Packers down, like teams kind of have been trying to over the last few weeks.
I think the biggest takeaway for me in the run game is that because the Packers aren't really scared of McCarthy throwing the ball, they're able to play single high all day. So they're able to just, flip both safeties. And Evan Williams is so good in the box, dude. That guy is such a good tackler in the box. I am pretty harsh on him in his pass coverage. He's been better the last couple of weeks, obviously back-to-back weeks with interceptions, both of them thrown right at him. So, but to his credit, he made the play. He caught the damn ball. So a lot of people drop that, right? So to his credit, but dude, in the box, elite run defender.
I think Bullard had a really good day in the box too. He's so good. He looks so good.
Really good.
And he was mic'd up, dude. Did you watch that?
No, I didn't. I didn't know he was mic'd up.
Oh hell yeah!
He's just making a bunch of noises, dude. Just making a bunch of noises.
Is it like Romeo noises or Carrington noises?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was mocking McDuffie.
Dude,
actually.
can we talk about how good? Well, I don't want, but okay, we won't get into it. But Carrington Valentine, man, he's just so good right now.
Yeah.
Save it for the secondary. Let's do linebackers. Unless, Simon, you got anything else?
No, that was pretty much it for the run defense.
Yeah, the only thing I can come up with is that Isaiah McDuffie watched our show last week and he took it personal. Because that is, I bet I would, for me, that's the best game I've ever seen him play in a Packers uniform. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can think of one. I know he's had some high tackle games and there's a couple like nice tackles he's made around, on the outside and stuff like that. But I thought he played the best game. Not only did he play well, he also, he was wearing the green dot, so he was directing our defense. So he did that. He ended with a half a sack. He had the interception. He
hit on TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, hit on TJ Hawkinson. He smoked him. 6 tackles, including 4 run stops. So just overall, really great game. I don't have an issue with Isaiah McDuffie on the field. I definitely think he has a role in this defense. I just don't think when it's 3rd and 6 and longer, or 2nd and 8 and longer, he should really be on the field. That's where I'm getting at, where I think, because I still think he's a liability in coverage. I know he got the interception this week, but we just talked about that was because Rashawn Gary deflected it there, essentially. His other snaps, he, 3 passes against him, he allowed 3 catches. He didn't let a lot of yards. He had a good game in coverage too, but we can't take one game and be like, oh, that's him now. This is the exception. That hasn't been the rule. I still think, right. But I still think that we could give Hopper some snaps in coverage downs. Edge Cooper was solid. And then Tyron Hopper, he played 18 snaps, and I thought he looked good. 2 sacks. Yeah, I didn't see him giving up any big plays that jumped off the screen to me. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't get I didn't reach out, watch the game and look for that or anything, but I normally kind of track that when I'm just watching it to see who might have missed a tackle, and I didn't see anything that was bad from him. Overall, the team had 6 missed tackles credited against them, so really good.
I will say about Hopper, he did miss his assignment on the long run, but he got that 22-yard run that Simon mentioned before. But he did show the speed and he chased him down from behind. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's
maybe a little bit more film to put him on the field a little bit.
He's not crazy fast, but he's definitely faster than Isaiah. But, I think Isaiah is a great 2-down back, first and second down, and then Hopper's our third down back.
And I think McDuffie's getting paid accordingly, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
Same.
So I think on your point of this being McDuffie's best game, I think when you put everything in totality, like the fact that he's filling in for one of our best defenders.
Oh, he got a game ball as well.
Wearing the green dot, having a pass rush stat, a coverage stat, plus a bunch of run stops. I mean, as complete of a game as you can play in relief of a guy who's been really, really good. I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, how'd they do on 3rd and 4th down?
Dude, the Vikings offense still isn't on the field, dude. That is insane. So we held the Vikings at 2 for 9. 2 for 9, dude. They only had 9 attempts. That's honestly
gross.
Sad. In the first half, they had 6 of their 9 attempts, and they were 2 for 6. The 2 that they converted were both from 1 yard out. Jones. The one that they missed from 3rd and short in the first half was the Hawkinson direct snap, which I will get into more later. They had no attempts from 3rd and medium the entire game. And then they had 3 attempts from 3rd and long in the first half, 10, 9, and 17. 0 for 3 on those because they don't have a quarterback. Second half, they were 0 for 3, all of them from 3rd and long. They had 1 from 3rd and 12. Nada. 1 from 3rd and 16, sacked by Wyatt. 1 from 3rd and 17, sacked by Devontae Wyatt. A loss of 16 total yards when you already had 3rd and 16 and 3rd and 17. That is a tough pill to swallow. They went for it on 4th down one time. I'll get into that more. They got negative 1 yards on that, but elite day from the defense all around, in my opinion.
I just can't get over the stats in the second half.
Yeah.
Where the net yards, like when you consider penalties and sacks and everything, to go negative 27 yards and a half, it's all that's incredible.
Yeah.
Dude.
They had more negative plays than positive yardage plays in the second half.
Good Lord, dude. Man.
That was brutal.
Right. Simon, let's talk about the secondary.
Yes.
Yeah. So I will say, all things considered, it's really hard to grade the secondary.
I was like, where is he going with this?
When JJ McCarthy is okay, first of all, I never speak in absolutes when things haven't happened yet. JJ McCarthy right now is not good. He's not good. I'm not saying in the future he can't be. Kevin O'Connell can work his magic in the offseason. He's coming off a rookie year where he didn't play at all because of injury. So I'll give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt. It's hard to grade how the secondary went because McCarthy held right now his biggest problem is his footwork, and also he holds the ball way too long. And I think he second guesses himself a lot. And so because the Packers pass rush did a lot better this week, he just got wrecked. In the second half, he was absolutely rattled. With that being said, though, like I said, Bullard's been he's been so good this year, both in the run game and in the pass game. Kamal Haddon had to come in and take over for Keyshawn Nixon because of a stinger. We'll see what that looks like this week. It could be him starting. I know Matt LaFleur talked really highly about Kamal Haddon and his improvement and halfway to and his improvement since he's come on the team. So we'll see. I thought he played decently well. He allowed a couple catches for only 12 yards. I'll take that all day. Let's see. Bullard had 3 targets on him. He only allowed 1 catch for 5 yards. Xavier McKinney had 1 for 4. Evan Williams had 2 for 3 for 23, and he ended up with an interception that was an overthrow by JJ McCarthy. Valentine, like Brian alluded to, he's been so good the last 3 weeks. I think I can't remember the exact stat. It was 80-some coverage snaps. He's allowed 2 catches for 15 yards or something insane. So he's been absolutely crazy the last few weeks, and he looks honestly like our CB1. I know I talked pretty highly about Nixon. I think he's a very good CB2. or maybe at best average CB2. He allowed 2 for 22, but I'll say the secondary played really well this game. They didn't allow anything really that far open. In fact, the Valentine almost tipped that pass away from Addison on the sideline for like 15 yards or whatever. He caught it like 2 inches over his hands. That's just great instincts by him. But yeah, overall, I thought the secondary played really well.
So I pulled up Carrington Valentine's coverage stats. The last 3 weeks, he has faced 87 coverage snaps. He has allowed 2 receptions on 10 targets in that time.
Like that's
a total of 15 yards.
Yeah, he's been so good these last few weeks.
You said that's the last 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, last 3.
The last 3 weeks.
That means
so
3 weeks ago, he was
New York
covering
Giants,
exactly.
and Minnesota.
3 weeks ago, he was covering either A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he's just been covering scrubs. We just watched Wan'Dale Robinson and them have big games against Detroit too. So
they should have lost that game too.
I know, they got so lucky, man.
I feel like the Bears should have lost to them too.
Yep.
Yeah, J.R. Valentine has been great.
Yeah, he's been good.
All right. Jake, how'd they do in the red zone?
So, first drive of the second quarter, third drive overall for the Vikings. Kevin O'Connell apparently has seen enough of JJ McCarthy missing passes. The Vikings got into the red zone by running all over the Packers defense. Now, they did start this drive with a 7-yard pass. After that, 4-yard run, 5-yard run, 22-yard run, 8-yard run, 4-yard run. They did a 4-yard pass and a 5-yard run. Gets us into a 3rd-and-1 situation from the 17. The Packers defense hit. That's enough of that shit. They tried to do a Hawkinson tush push. No dice. Tackled by McDuffie, by the way. Played with great physicality the entire day. Then you get to a 4th-and-1, and they're going to try to run it with Mason, who had the 22-yard run earlier. You gained 59 yards up to that point. You ended the drive 10 plays with 58 yards because he got fucking destroyed. The offensive line got destroyed. The Green Bay Packers defense was just like, yeah, that's enough. So it's just really confusing to me. I was literally screaming at my TV, and I'm like, you guys make no sense. You get ran all over for the entire drive, and then when you have to make a play, you make a play. And that's what makes me think that they're a Super Bowl team, right? Because when they need to, they can, especially on defense. More times than not this year, though, when they've had to make a play, they make it. But, man, you can't be getting run all over like this. 4, 5, 8, 22, 8, 4. Like, dude, you can't do that. That shit's frustrating. And teams with better quarterback play are going to kill us if that's the case. But to their credit, when they needed to make a play, they made it.
Yep. Justin McDuffie absolutely was great this week, and we definitely gave him his flowers for it. But
for sure.
Brian, how'd you feel about special teams?
I don't know if we're in the Twilight Zone or what we just watched, but that's like I just said with McDuffie. I've been trying to rattle my brain. I can't think of a better special teams game I've seen in the last few years from this team. There's been some decent ones, but not with that impactful of a play. I mean, that pump by Wheeler.
Minnesota. The last time Keyshawn Nixon brought a touchdown.
Yeah.
That would probably be the last time
probably that one, but that pump by Whelan for then to kick backwards and then for Zane Anderson to push him into there and then they get the recovery. Like just
welcome
awesome.
back, Zane Anderson.
I mean, yeah, that kind of changed the momentum of the game because we were kind of just slogging through at that point. I don't think we were going to lose it, but we weren't really doing much right there. That pretty much that, in all intents and purposes, was the dagger that put us up 17 to 6, and it was pretty much this is it. This is over. McManus hit all his kicks. Good on him. His long of only 40, but hopefully that will bring back some a little bit of confidence and in him. But good coverage on the return. I know he kicked the first one to the end zone. Probably didn't want to do that, but I think that was the only touchback we had, other than if we were like already the game was already.
It wasn't like a terrible one. Like it was kicked. Like if he didn't catch it, it might land in the landing zone. Like it kind of carried him into the end zone. So like it's like a smidge too much on it. Like it's
And then Whelan, like I said, he had 4 punts. He had a long of 61 or 65, and then he had 3 inside of the 20. So just really good game from him. So Awesome game by special teams. Can we just? I know we're not going to get a turnover every week on special teams, but just that sound play and let them make the mistakes was awesome to see.
It's one of those situations where we've talked about how special teams can lose us a game. Special teams, like you said, absolutely played a factor in the Packers winning this week.
Yep.
Aaron
Mosby has been good too.
We'll talk about.
Oh yeah, on special teams, him and Hopper are like just stuck on special teams.
They've been really good in coverage this year.
And Zane Anderson coming back too.
Yeah. Also, I just want to shout out Kaitan Oladipo. We have not talked about him a lot, and he had a special teams tackle this week, so it was cool to see him. See him make a play. All right, let's jump into the offense, starting with the tight ends.
So Fitzpatrick and Wiley both outsnapped Musgrave again this week.
This year.
Yeah, they will this year as well.
Foreshadowing, I guess.
Yeah. But I will say Musgrave did have a drawn penalty on a route on the left side of the sideline that put us down the field some. So that was good. Other than that, it was pretty quiet in the receiving game. Fitzpatrick had a catch for 11 yards. Wiley had one catch for 1 yard. And Musgrave had 2 looks for 1 catch and 7 yards. But I thought all 3 of them blocked pretty efficiently. I thought they all looked pretty good in both the Musgrave didn't have any run game snaps, but I thought they all looked really efficient blocking on both the run game and the pass game.
Yeah, I think with what we're seeing is Fitzpatrick's going to be pretty much a traditional blocking tight end. And I think Wiley is going to start take over the receiving, and then maybe Musgrave. I wish that with Musgrave, the only thing they should do with him is deep crossers and seam routes and stuff like that. At this point.
I actually really like what they did with Josh Wiley and using him as a lead blocker by motioning him before the snap and setting him up as a lead blocker. I think that was a really effective way of using Josh Wiley.
Yeah, I agree. You hear that, Musgrave? We're talking shit about you, so go put up 6 catches for 94 yards and a touchdown this weekend.
Oh, dude.
Or on Thursday.
Honestly, that would become a tradition. Who is
you
Brian
mean
shit about this week?
Yeah, right? Bryant's reverse psychology shit talk of the week.
Oh, I like that, actually.
All right. Wide receivers.
Yeah, they didn't have that much of opportunities with the way the game script went. I thought Watson looked really good again. I feel like he's turning into Love's safety blanket versus Dobbs at this point. Dobbs did have the 2 targets and 2 catches, but he only had 2 targets where Watson had 7, and actually Dontavian Wicks had 4. I got to give props to Dontavian Wicks on that blitz play where Jordan Love just throws it up quickly. If Wicks isn't paying attention to what's going on and jumps up and catches that ball, it's probably intercepted because it's kind of just floating in the middle of the field with a bunch of people around. Great job by him to jump up, catch that ball, hold on, and get down to the ground. But overall they're pretty quiet. But I thought they did well with the opportunities that they had. And Jordan Love made a couple uncharacteristic throws. He probably he's probably hurting a little bit. Sounds like he had actually separated that shoulder. You've seen Baker Mayfield go out with that injury. Carson Wentz's season was ended on that similar injury, so he's really kind of toughing it out. I'll say there's 2 throws that I thought was pretty rough. One, he skipped right to Wicks, where Wicks was open, and then another one, I thought he had Watson on the sideline. He kind of missed Watson on the throw. It was a running throw, but overall, I thought the wide receivers did good with their opportunities. I am eager to get Reed and Golden back. It's going to be really interesting to see how they divvy up these snaps because, I think Savion has shown he needs to be on the field more too. So I don't know what they're going to do to keep everybody happy. But, I guess it's a good position as a fan to be in. So hopefully they have a good plan to get everyone some snaps. But I feel like Christian Watson needs to probably be on the field pretty much every play. So, yeah.
He's getting stronger from the injury too, so I agree.
Yeah.
I will say too, with Kraft out and us playing a lot of and Reed coming back, a lot of 11 personnel will allow Reed to live in the slot too.
I'm sorry, I just want to see some 4 wide receiver sets at this point. That's what I want. So
I'm not opposed to it.
Scott, we'll get there for sure. Looking at the passing game distribution, like Brian was kind of alluding to with the reception or with the targets, Watson led the team with 7 targets. Wicks had 4, Dobbs with 3. Despite only throwing 21 passes, Jordan Love still completed 14 passes, still targeted 8 different players, and all 8 of those players had at least one reception, including 3 guys catching their lone target. Breaking down the depth of the targets, only 1-for-1 pass behind the line of scrimmage. I'm again okay with that. Again, I don't think we need to phase it out entirely, just as long as that number is not 7. From 0 to 9, Love was 8 for 9, and then from 10 to 19, he was 5 for 8 and only threw 1 20-yard or 20-plus yard pass. And I think I'll get into a little bit why I think of that when we get to Jordan Love and the coaching aspects. But Simon, how did you feel about the offensive line?
That's me.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Simon did all line last year. My bad.
So yeah, I thought they played all right. I was surprised to see Anthony Belton all of a sudden is taking over at right guard. He played all of the snaps in the second half, and Matt LaFleur was praising his physicality today during this press conference. So overall, Morgan played 21 snaps and Belton played 45. The one thing I do kind of like that they're doing a lot of is they've been bringing in Kennard a lot. They brought him in for 21 snaps as a 6th offensive lineman, and they're running out of that. So out of the 21 times he was brought onto the field, they ran it 20 times. So I will say
he's going to catch a fucking touchdown before this year is over. I swear to God.
That'd be awesome. Honestly, the way he plays, like, the funny part was they brought in Belton over Morgan, but if you go by these whack PFF grades, both of them actually suck still in run blocking according to PFF. So I will say Sean Ryan got beat a few times too quickly inside. He had another snap that was good on Jordan for quickly, catching that thing over his head, but I'm getting a little nervous with those. But Ryan allowed 4 pressures as well. So I'm a little nervous when we run into some of those games. Like, I know he already played against the Eagles, but those interior monsters, we could start to run some, into some trouble against. So hopefully he continues to get more comfortable. And really, like I said, they did an all right job in the run game, but ultimately, like I said, we only still averaged 3.5 yards per carry. But I'll talk that up the game plan. We were running on 3rd and 3 more than we probably should have. For me, it was clear that Green Bay wanted to speed up the game, so I looked it up. I was like, because I remember sitting on the couch, I was like, holy crap, that game's already over, and these games have like 8 or 9 minutes left in the game. Our game ended at 2:42. It is the shortest game in the NFL so far this year in real-time duration, so at 2 hours and 42 minutes. The next shortest was 2 hour and 45 minutes, and it's one of the top 10 shortest games in the last 5 years that I could find, according to the AI app that I was using. So our real-time run game time was 2:42. The Lions played real-time game time was 3 hours and 27 minutes. So they were on the field for 45 minutes longer than us going into a short week. I don't know that will have an impact, but you can definitely tell Green Bay was like, let's just get out of here and keep running the ball. Keep the clock running. Let's just get out of here. This game is over. So it might have been frustrating to watch. I was frustrated at times with the conservative because I want to go for the kill shot and I want to build that mentality, but I also can step back and understand why we did it.
Oh, now we can step back and understand why we did it.
I'm a different person.
Hey, it's growth, Tyler. It's growth.
Have you seen that movie where it's like, it's me, Jessica? That's like me during the games. Like I turn into a different person. Okay,
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I gotta get a gift for that. I'm gonna start sending that to you every Sunday when you're fucking on tilt.
Jessica.
Oh, that's funny.
But there's a reason I said no to doing live shows.
So yeah, for doing live streaming, yeah. Alrighty, Simon, how did the run game do?
I thought they were solid. I know people are going to look at the plain numbers, and like Brian said, we only averaged 3.5 yards a carry. But before the fourth quarter, when Matt LaFleur literally came out and said, I ran the same running play 8 times in a row.
Yeah, he did.
They knew the game was out of hand at 17-6. And so, like you guys said, they kind of just wanted to get out of there with the W on a short week. They took Jordan Love out with 4 minutes left in the game. This game was already in hand, and I know it's very conservative, and everyone wants to see us score 40 against Minnesota. Trust me. Excuse me, I get it. I do too. But at the end of the day, this was a 3-possession win. The Packers controlled basically the whole game. Wilson had 28 carries for 170. Wow, reading's hard. 107 yards. 94 of those yards came after contact. He had 3.36 yards after contact per attempt. He had 2 touchdowns for 6 missed tackles. The run game was good, and the run blocking I think was better than like recent weeks. Brooks had 8 attempts for 21 yards. I feel like he took a lot of shots in the backfield, which limited him because he had 29 yards after contact. He forced 3 missed tackles, 3.6 3 yards after contact per attempt. Love had a few rushes, which I don't understand why he had a read option with a hurt shoulder. That doesn't make sense to me. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But I mean, he was smart enough to get down before a guy even came up to him, but it's still like that play call didn't make sense to me. Willis had a couple carries for 3 yards. Savion Williams had 1 attempt for 0 yards. I think the run game was a lot better than people think it was. And it really helped us kind of solidify the win, in my opinion. Like their side of the field, you run it 3 times, kick a field goal. I was like, good, fine by me. Run that clock out.
Yeah, and it's gonna be funny because Detroit will go watch this game tape and they'll think they're watching the same play over and over, but they'll realize we just ran it over and over, and we showed them absolutely nothing.
Yeah, like Groundhog's Day. Like we're just
yeah. I mean. And I think it'll look worse than it did because of the 2 3rd and 3 calls where we just get stuffed.
But like I said, that was like like in a normal game versus like Detroit. I don't think Matt LaFleur's doing that. I think he's going to put the ball in Jordan Love's hands and try to get the first down that way.
And I think Jordan probably canned into some of those, to be honest.
Yeah, and that was part of his press conference too. I can't remember who asked it, but someone asked, is that something you talk about on the sidelines? And he basically said yes. So like they both knew at that point in the game, they were just trying to, run out the clock, put a few points on the board, and then just get out of there. And like we were talking about before the show, excuse me, those Sada fries are going down good. Like we were talking about before, this is not the same game plan that we're going to see. I know people kill Matt LaFleur for being too soft or too conservative or whatever, but that was literally the game plan that gave us a 3-possession win. So I don't know what. Yeah, sorry, you're right. We'll get there.
We have segments for this.
I know.
Yeah, we'll get there because I have something I want to say, and before somebody else says it, let's get to the other couple things, but then we'll talk about coaching. All right, Jake, how'd they do on 3rd and 4th down?
They were elite for a team that literally ran the same play as many times as Matt LaFleur said. I don't remember calling the same play that many times in one game. So going 7 for 14
8 times or something like that.
Yeah, I forgot the number of what it was, but
it was 8. He said 8 times in a row.
8 times in a row.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'll do it again.
Never mind.
Ryan Flores is just sitting over there like one of those Asian dudes that hits himself in the junk with the brick over and over again.
So 7 for 14 overall is pretty good. Didn't have to go for it on 4th down, so that's also good. This felt like a pretty stress-free game. This was a nice, relaxing Sunday stroll kind of game.
Yeah.
4 for 4 from the 3rd and short area in the first half. 3 yards, 1 yard, 1 yard. When you're setting yourself up for 3rd and 1s, you're going to be successful. I don't know if you guys saw the stat during the game, but they showed it. In 3rd and short situations, the Packers ranked 25th in conversion rate. In 3rd and long situations, they ranked 1st. What the hell is this team, bro?
Jordan Love got good, though.
But when they need to make a play, they make the damn play, dude. They piss me off. Like, stop putting yourself in that position to have to make a play. But anyways, 3rd medium, 0 for 1. They had 1 from 3rd and 5 in the first half. Didn't get it. 3rd and long, they had 2 attempts in the first half. 1 from 10, which they picked up. And that was the blitz where he threw it up to Wicks, and Wicks caught it. That was the 3rd and 10. Then the 3rd and 15 where Wiley just didn't get a good chip, in my opinion, and Love tried to step up where he thought he saw a lane, and he just took a sack, and everybody was kind of pissed off. And I'm like, dude, that's literally what he's supposed to do. Like, quite literally what he's supposed to do when the defensive end goes wide, you step up where he's not. Makes sense. He got sacked. It is what it is. Second half, they were 2 for 7 after being 5 for 7 in the first half. So obviously we know we've been talking about it, beating the hell out of it. The game was kind of in hand. We called a lot of run plays, tried to speed it up. That leads to 2 for 7 when they kind of know what's going to happen. When they know what's going to happen, you still convert 2 of them. That's pretty crazy to me. That kind of speaks to the offensive line. I thought Belton was elite this week for coming in for Morgan, by the way.
All right. Jumping into the red zone, the Packers had 4 chances. Their first trip, they had a 2nd and 6 to 19, 18-yard pass to Dontavian Wicks. That was a really good play call. And then a 1-yard touchdown for Emmanuel Wilson. Second trip, they started at the 19.5-yard line. Got to a 3rd and 5 after a nice out route to to Romeo Dobbs. And then a throwaway on 3rd down resulted in a field goal. The third trip started at the 5-yard line after recovering a touched punt. Emmanuel Wilson ran once for 4 yards and then another time for a touchdown. The fourth trip, they had a 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. They went run, field goal. They had 2 for 4 in the red zone in what I think was pretty conservative play calling. And as we jump into the coaching aspect, some of the guys have given some of their thoughts already. Just on the conservative aspect of the play calling, when the opposing team knows that it's a 3rd and short and we're going to be probably running the ball, I'm not saying it needs to be every single time, and I get that they wanted to keep the clock running. But could you ask for a more perfect time to run play action and catch a team off guard? When you are literally just running the ball down, and you're setting up like you're about to run, seems like a perfect time to call it a play action pass and throw the ball to Darian Kennard or Josh Wiley for 2 yards on a 3rd and 1. Like just one play action on a 3rd and short. And again, I get that they're trying to run the clock out and protecting Jordan Love, which to me felt like the game plan was focused on being ready for Thursday. With protecting Jordan Love, keeping Josh Jacobs out, not throwing a whole lot, being conservative on 3rd and short. To me, what I took away from it was this feels like a preseason game type game plan where you keep things simple. You don't show a lot of your playbook. You only play your starters for a little bit. You know, obviously, like they kept some of the guys out because it isn't actually a preseason game, but you know, you keep some of the guys out like Jacobs, Golden, Quay, and you save those guys, hopefully having them ready for Thursday because this is one of those games you think you could win without them. So that's kind of how I saw it. As for time of possession, the Packers kicked the shit out of the Vikings, 37-15 to 22-45. So the Vikings were not able to shorten the game like we've seen some other teams be able to do. So if the Vikings lose Brian Flores this offseason, they're going to be even in more trouble, and they're going to be bad for a while.
Oh, dude,
do you see their not to get like too off topic? Have you seen their cap space is so bad next year? They're like negative $40 million in the hole or something insane. Their Super Bowl window was like this year, and they're gonna have to do like a soft reset in a couple of years, or
I know
like
they
next
don't want to
year.
hear it, but the only way they have a chance is if they trade JJ for 1st-round picks and reset some of their cap for one because he's going to get a lot of money.
Oh,
No one's gonna.
Justin Jefferson, not JJ McCarthy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, gotcha.
I'm going to call the cool nickname to the guy that actually heard it. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can call McCarthy. We can call McCarthy 9.
Fucking negative
9 fantasy points.
9 fantasy points. Yep.
I don't call him the Vikes. I call him the Yikes because what the hell is that on Sunday, dude? Whoa. It's all
right. Anything else you guys want to say on the coaching aspects?
Brian?
No, I mean, I get what they're.
Okay, you're gonna freak out at this deal. Chatbooks is giving you 12 monthly mini photo books for just $12 plus free shipping. It's the easiest way to finally do something with all those photos on your phone. Finally, no stress, no hassle, just memories made easy. Go to chatbooks.com/get12. That's chatbooks.com/get12 before this deal disappears.
Doing it. It was frustrating not being. I want to step on their throat and end a team, but I get what they're doing.
I don't know. I consider a 17-point win like that's stepping on.
Okay, I want to win 40-6 and like.
I do too.
Not college football, Brian.
Way to take the words right out of his mouth, Brian. He just said that.
All right.
I'm ready for this.
So let's jump into Jordan Love. Bryant, what did you think about Jordan Love?
Yeah, I thought he played fine. It was kind of a game. Okay, I want to say this. I've seen a lot of people calling him trash. Saying it's like I seen one guy that posts on Twitter, "Oh, there's 15 teams that need to replace quarterbacks this year."
I saw that today too.
And Jordan Love was on there, and he also had like some other crazy. He had Bo Nix on there. I'm like, this guy's an idiot. So people that are talking like that, they're just dumb. For one, you think there's 15 better quarterbacks just floating around than these guys out there?
The guy that posted that got ratioed super hard.
Yeah, he's talking about Love, Goff, Nix, Stroud.
Goff?
Yeah,
super hard.
What a dummy.
He's an idiot. But other people are complaining. Oh, like look at his numbers and stuff. Yeah, he hasn't really. You're right. He's thrown like 1 touchdown or 2 touchdowns over the last 4 weeks or something.
Yeah.
But when you look at his touchdown interception ratio, the yards, his QBR and everything, his EPA, all of that is still towards the top of the league. Like
all his advanced metrics are good.
Yeah. Yes. So anyone that's looking at box scores and stats, you're right. Do we want to see him throwing 40 yards or 40 touchdowns a year because he is getting paid $55 million? Sure. But if you can tell me if the EPA was the only stat that mattered and he was in top 5 or top 10, no one's saying anything. If there was no other stat that mattered and that was it, everyone would be super thrilled. Like
what's hilarious to me about that EPA, that's expected points added, seeing that and then like sharing that to like a Bears fan and watching them be like, oh yeah, my made up stats is Jordan Love is good.
Yeah,
they've been on.
It's like okay, you get to a point where all stats are made up. Like obviously, totals can be quantified easier, but anytime you get into like rating, QBR, EPA, like PFF grades, for example, like under pressure numbers, like any of that stuff, that's all made up and like
cook.
It's all determined. It's all made up at some point. Yeah. Outside of just blatant totals, which then you have to take in, attempts and things like that into account. Health is a factor. Like EPA is an advanced number that here we go. If you ask somebody in the year 2005 what the words OPS, the letters OPS are going to stand for in baseball, they would be like, that's a made-up stat. That's not real. 2035, we could be at a point in the NFL where people are looking at stats and they're looking at like, okay, quarterback wins are no longer a stat that people care about, just like people don't care about wins in Major League Baseball for pitchers anymore. EPA, in my mind, is a more accurate judge of quarterback quality than wins.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other players on the field. So many other factors that go into whether a team wins or loses, just like for a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball.
I'm glad you went there because I was going at some Cubs fans because I was like, I know some of you are Cubs fans, and you guys were arguing about the war for PCA this year, that's why he was better than Jackson Chourio, but he doesn't show up in the playoffs, and Jackson Chourio does show up in the playoffs. So who really is the better player?
Which is even funnier because if a Cubs fan wants to talk about war, like Drake Baldwin, his war was much higher than Cade Horton's, but they think Cade Horton was robbed a Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, dude,
we're off topic. But my point is, like, statistics like that, like Brian bringing up EPA, that's an important advanced metric, and it's expected points added, which that's what your quarterback is supposed to do. He's supposed to add points to your total.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and like, so for back on Jordan Love, anyone that's saying he's a problem for our team or anything, it's just you're not watching the games, you're not paying attention to what's going on. Like, he has been very good. He's not a turnover machine. It's just not. That's not factual anymore. It wasn't factual really to begin with because he had a rough first 6 games of his career or whatever, or 8 games of his career. But since then, it's just not factual. So people that are saying that are it's a lazy narrative. So I've been very happy with how he's playing. And I mean, it's time for him to turn it on. And we have a tough stretch here. And this is where he wants to be in the top. If he wants to put numbers behind those EPA numbers, this is where he needs to turn it on and carry us. But and I'm excited for him to have that opportunity.
I think people that are still complaining about Jordan Love and still saying he's not good are people that complained in 2020 when he was drafted.
Yeah.
People want to be right about it so bad they're not willing to give up their opinion from before.
Exactly. Which we've talked about that, like with us being
not everyone. I will say it's not everyone.
Right. And it's like here's the thing. Like, if you just say I was wrong and like, they drafted him in 2020. I didn't like it then, but I like him now. Great. Cool. Yeah. Let's move on. But
there's players I was definitely wrong about.
I would bet there's probably at least 20 teams that would dump their quarterback right now for Jordan Love.
Oh yeah, at least.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is like it's intellectual stubbornness to be still clinging to something from 5.5 years ago as a reason to not like what you're seeing right now, which is wild. But Simon, what did you think about Jordan Love?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like inadvertently I talked about a lot of this game. I thought Love had a couple pretty clutch throws on third down where he was getting pressured. But other than that, this wasn't a Jordan Love game, and I'm okay with that. I thought he looked solid.
Yeah. Scott said all Bears fans claim Love is trash. Yeah, which is
that's fine. Whatever.
But
their opinions of quarterbacks literally don't matter to me.
Evaluate quarterback play anyways.
Yeah.
So. Jake, how did you feel about Jordan Love?
I thought Jordan Love was good for what was handed to him. I think it was Utah that put it in the chat that the way he was handing off the ball looked a little funky. I agree. It was like
goofy as shit, but it was fine.
It was getting the job done, and that's how I felt about Jordan Love. He was getting the job done. I wrote this down because I saw people complain about him too. Sports comprehension is the second biggest problem in America today because there's too many fucking people that pretend that they know what they're seeing and they don't understand what they're looking at. And then they have an opinion about it. And I'm like, first of all, you messed up on the first sentence because you don't even know what the fuck you're looking at, dude. And you're going to make 17 tweets about it? You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. Get off me. Blocked. I'm just blocking people on Twitter last couple of days. I'm just done with it. Yep. I don't want to be stupid anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to waste my energy on stupid people. So,
great.
Yes, watching the inverted handoff to protect the shoulder was weird. And yes, we talked about the only 21 pass attempts. Jordan Love was 6 of 9 under pressure. That's a big deal. That one of his best games under pressure in his career. Had one turnover worthy play, and Bryant briefly mentioned Baker Mayfield, but the conservative play calling aspect of this to protect Jordan Love's shoulder, I think, is fair. Bryant, mentioned that he understands why the Packers were doing it, and the case study of exactly why, just the example happened this week of what can happen. The example of what can happen is you saw Baker Mayfield literally this week fuck up his shoulder, bad. Gonna miss time, bad. And Teddy Bridgewater is their backup, which is a rough spot to be in. The Packers have Malik Willis, who AFM said the Packers need to give him some more playing time. I don't know that they need to. I get that there's, Bryant brought up, they put him in for 4 minutes this week. Bryant has said it over the last couple of weeks that they can put in some Wildcats, some couple plays a week for him, but it's not so much that I feel that they need to put him into the playbook. Scott asked how bad his injury. Obviously, it's bad enough to play conservative, but not bad enough to not play him. I mean, we're just going with the evidence we've got.
The one concerning thing about the shoulder handoffs is Matt LaFleur mentioned today that when he's turning his back like that, it does kind of stop him from being able to do some of their quick read throws or whatever. So hopefully that's just a one game thing where he just hey, I need to rest my shoulder a little bit. Yeah. But
yeah, I agree. All right, let's jump into Packers Lions preview. Moving on to Thanksgiving Thursday afternoon. And Brian, I'll go to you first. What are you looking for from the Packers defense against the Lions offense?
Yeah, so their defense, they just got to get pressure on Goff quickly. He becomes a different player when you're really pressuring him. To do that, we just need to slow down Gibbs, really. Kind of like what we did in week 1. They're going to want to throw the ball quickly. If we can kind of slow that down. I can't remember the stats exactly off the top of my head, but I want to say it was 10 catches for 31 yards or something really ridiculous.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so really hoping Quay is back. I'll talk about that more later, but it's leaning that way, I think. They are averaging 5.1 yards per carry, so we got to be careful because Gibbs can absolutely take one to the house in a heartbeat, and we see him do it a lot. They hadn't given up a lot of sacks, but they've struggled of late. They've given up 14 sacks in the last 5 games. And in those games, talking about advanced metrics, Goff has only had a QBR of over 44 once. So in the last 5 games, he's only had a QBR of 44 or higher once. So he's been struggling a little bit more. They are 3-2 in those games. So hopefully we can slow down their quick game and get to Goff like we did in week 1. This offense is very good at home. They're averaging like 34 yards or 34 points per game at home. Haven't scored less than 24 once in Detroit, so we're going to have to score. So hopefully our defense can slow them down at least a little bit, or maybe create a couple big turnovers.
I feel like those numbers are inflated because of that Bears game.
They are inflated somewhat because of the Bear game, but if you take that one out, they're still high 20s or low 30s.
Yeah,
it's high 20s. You're right, though. It was 52 points against the Bears, but they still put up like 34 on 2 other teams and then 24 and 27. So
that's good. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Goff did throw for 3 touchdowns against Washington and Cincinnati, 2 teams that I'm honestly not particularly afraid of.
Yeah.
All right, Simon, what are you looking for from the Packers defense?
Kind of a lot of what Brian said. I think just Gibbs has been on an absolute heater the last few weeks. You just gotta slow him down. Meet him at the line of scrimmage. He's not a guy that'll necessarily break a lot of tackles, but he's a guy that's shifty and fast. So you gotta be very technical with your tackling and just get your hands on him. I think, a lot of what Brian said about Goff being susceptible when he's under pressure, force him to make some bad decisions. And then, I like Amon-Ra St. Brown as a player. I think in real life he's kind of a douche, but that's just my opinion.
That's true.
That's the correct opinion to have.
Yep.
But I think he's a very good player, and he's going to take a lot of underneath stuff. Could get a lot of catches. Packers did a really good job week 1 slowing him down, but I think that's where a lot of it lies.
Yeah. Jake, what are you looking for from the defense?
Yeah, so Packers defense on third down, they rank 10th in the NFL, giving up 36.36% conversion rate. It's not bad. On the road, they're 15th in the NFL at 37%. So Detroit, right now, they're ranked 25th on third down conversion rate on offense at 36.5. At home, they're 27th at 34.85. So when I was looking it up, because I was like, the Laporta thing, their offense has been kind of struggling the last couple of weeks, especially on third downs. So I looked up their conversion rates on third downs without Laporta versus Philadelphia. Philadelphia whooped our ass too. They were 3 for 13, and then versus the Giants, they were 5 for 12. So that's 8 for 25 over the last 2 weeks without Laporta. The thing that is the most alarming for me is before Laporta's injury, 42% of their play calls were out of 12-man personnel. That means 1 running back, 2 tight ends. They ran 12 personnel for 1 snap versus Philadelphia and 3 snaps versus the Giants. They didn't get a lot of yards on him either, by the way. Goff is a guy, obviously we saw in week 1, he's a guy that's known for getting the ball out quick. He has one of the quickest releases in the NFL. 2.31 seconds he gets rid of the ball and kept clean this season. Defense, obviously we saw it in week 1, like I said. It's on a little bit redundant. They got early pressure, and it really changed the game. They gang tackled, and we saw a little bit of that this last week too. The gang tackling was back after I complained about it enough for a couple weeks in a row. Maybe if I keep talking about Matthew Golden getting in the end zone again, maybe that will come to fruition again. But just got to tackle and get the Goff early and get them in some third down situations that are advantageous for yourself.
For me, obviously, we all know the playmaker guys. For me, looking at the defensive line, I'm looking for an increase in snaps from Devontae Wyatt, who played 34 snaps this week, and ideally from Lucas Van Ness. He only played 6 snaps before missing the rest of the game last week. I'd also like to see more splashes from Warren Brinson. He was really good last week in his snaps. And then other than that, one thing that you guys mentioned, you guys talked about it over and over with the Goff under pressure. Micah Parsons is not going to be on a snap count this week. He's not going to have just gotten here 4 days ago this week. Micah Parsons has been here for 12 weeks now.
He played 40 out of 44 snaps this weekend.
He has shown multiple times this season that he is a game wrecker. So Detroit has to contend with that. And like I said, not on a snap count. Not on 40% of snaps this week. It's going to be more like 90% of snaps this week.
Yeah.
So very excited to see much more Micah Parsons against the Lions. Brian, what are you looking for from special teams?
Yeah, just you're in a dome, make your kicks. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot leave points on the table against Detroit. Anything 50 and in pretty much has to be automatic in a dome if you want to be an NFL kicker nowadays. That's not, always constantly on the hot seat. So hopefully McManus is ready to perform. Nothing too crazy in the return games. I feel like Savion's fine in the return games, but I don't feel like he really has a chance to really show his burst of speed. It always seems like he's running kind of in slow motion. I still wish we could see like Nixon or something back there. That's not going to happen this week, obviously coming off a stinger, but he's fine. If he can continue to get us out to the 30-yard line, I'll take that every time. So just make your kicks and, no stupid turnovers or anything on special teams, and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Going into the offense, Simon, we're looking for from the offense.
Yeah, Lions defense has been very good versus the run this week. We'll see what happens with Josh Jacobs. And it sounded like, in my opinion, if we didn't have a short week this week, I think he would have played Sunday, at least some snaps. So we'll see what they do with him this week. He might still be on a snap count. And I think Emmanuel Wilson has earned some snaps into what we're normally we see from Josh Jacobs. Maybe ride the hot hand a little bit and see how Jacobs' knee is feeling from the concrete of MetLife. But I think this is going to be a love show. I think the way to beat the Lions is through the air. I think their secondaries hurt a little bit. Kirby Joseph has already been ruled out for Thursday. It sounds like Brian Branch is going to play, though. I think he's a very good weapon for that defense. He's kind of a dickhead on the field. I don't know what his issue is. What does he have, like 13 fines from the league in his 3 years of playing or something insane like that?
Can we all agree that the mouth guard on top of his helmet looks stupid as hell?
The what?
The mouth guard that he puts on top of his helmet looks so dumb. He looks like an idiot. I'm sorry. The green mouth guard.
I don't know. I've never noticed it, really.
Yeah, he does.
He just
never noticed the green flop?
I didn't know what that was. I just thought he was like an alien or something. I don't know. I never thought
to unleash a can of whoop ass. Josh Lane on YouTube said bear down, so that guy's probably gonna be rooting for a stadium fire.
Yeah.
And then James said go Lions.
Okay.
Respectfully, no.
Yeah.
Bears will be going down in the standings by Friday. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, they have a tough game versus the Eagles, and then they're going to lose 2 in a row. Obviously, when we play them in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're gonna beat that ass. Then we got to ruin your Christmas too. Ooh.
Yeah, Branch has a good few PI calls. Hopefully, someone can get in his head and get another personal foul. I'm looking for like a 2-to-1 ratio from passes to runs, and if that being said, if it's going to be a love game, you gotta protect him. I like Zach Tom versus Hutchinson. I think he's done a very good job over his career of holding him to minimal good games. But I'm looking more for backside pressure. So Rasheed Walker, Aleem McNeil's a really good player too. So you can't allow Jordan Love to take too many hits this game.
Yeah. Jake, what are you looking for from the offense?
So Packers are first in conversion rate on third down. That's good when you compare that the Lions are bad on third down. So you got to win your third downs. It's pretty important fundamental football, right? 49.28% conversion rate. That's pretty good. On the road, they're still first. They convert 53.85% of first down, third down so far this year. On third down, that's amazing. Detroit, third down defense, they're 9th overall at 36.23, and they're 14th at home at 36.62. So a little bit of a strength battle right there. Detroit's defense has been really good against the run. The one thing that I'm looking for is the O-line. They blocked up the run game really well when they replaced Morgan with Belton. And the biggest thing for me is all the best O-lines that I've seen for the Packers and the Badgers, they had one thing in common. They had an attitude about them. Because if you're going to run the ball, you're basically saying, we are running through your face, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Everybody heard Marshawn Lynch's his interview. He said, you guys know what I'm talking about? When you run through a motherfucker's face, and you do it again and again and again and again. Right? I can keep going because he said it like 50 times. That's how I feel like the attitude for the O-line has to be, especially when you're going against a division opponent. Somebody that you beat in week 1, somebody that has hated you the last couple of years, somebody that we hate over the last couple of years. These two teams are young. They don't like each other. They've said it publicly. The only problem is we don't have our shit starter in Tucker Kraft. He's the one they really hate over in Detroit. But
the Lions don't have their shit starter either, so
that's fair. Having the attitude up front is going to be huge for me. We're going to find some things out in the first half.
So while we're on the subject, I should have brought this up when we were talking about the Lions offense. What do you guys think the over-under is on 0.5, the number of misspelled shirts that Amon-Ra wears this week?
Let's take the over.
Grammar at his private high school.
Yeah, his whole, I didn't make the sweatshirt. Like, come on, dude.
You still wore it.
We still wore it.
You didn't proofread it?
Yeah, right. You didn't look at that and be like, dog, Green Bay is 2 words. Fuck. All right. Looking for the Packers offense, if the red zone, Green Bay averages 66%, which is number 6 in the NFL. Detroit allows 61%, which is number 25 in the NFL. I'd love to see the Packers go 2 for 3, 3 for 4 in the red zone. Bryant, as far as the passing game distribution goes before Bryant, I do like, you guys brought up that Bryant would like to be 4 wide. I like the 3 wide receiver mix of Watson, Dobbs, and Wicks. I understand if Jaden Reed is back, that brings a much bigger piece to the passing offense. But if I'm being honest, I don't feel the need to force Golden and Savion into mixing with those guys. I see them more as rookies, which they are, who are obviously learning. They're obviously drafted in the 1st and 3rd round to be, talented contributors, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't contribute, but I'm not saying that I need to force them onto the field over Watson for sure, probably not Dobbs. Wicks I could see taking some snaps away from to get Golden, Savion on the field a little bit more. But I don't feel the need to pull Watson and Dobbs off the field just for the sake of forcing plays to the rookies because people want them to have good fantasy weeks.
That's fine. We can do Watson, Reed, Wicks, and Dobbs.
If they're all healthy, they could. But I feel like this is completely like speculation on my part. I feel like Reed and Wicks aren't on the field a ton together.
My point is, I don't think that there's a team in the NFL that has 4 cornerbacks as good as our top 4 wide receivers. So good luck covering them all.
I mean, I look at it as secondary guys, but I mean, like if you put 4 wide receivers on the field, like somebody's going to be stressed out. Like Preston Smith's going to be covering Justin Jefferson.
Exactly. I mean, on the topic of
worked out a couple times.
One of the biggest plays in the Lions Packers game in week 1 was Wicks and Reed, where Wicks kind of ran a pick play and Reed ran the wheel route right behind him. So I mean, maybe they should be on the field a little bit more.
Maybe they should. And they, I could be completely wrong. Like they could have been running Watson and Dobbs and then putting out Wicks and Reed together.
Like, what does a team do if you line up Savion in the backfield, right? And then he splits out wide and you have a linebacker who's not that fast on a 6'4", 4'4" wide receiver. Like you're not covering.
That's the kind of stuff I would like to do. Like I would like to put him in, in the backfield and then motion him out. Like I'd like to see him used in the receiving game.
Deebo Samuel-esque.
Yes. So. But again, I still don't. If you're going to line him up in the backfield and then motion him out, great. But like I said, I just don't feel the need to take snaps away from a guy like Christian Watson or Romeo Dobbs.
Yes.
I think that would be like more like a next year thing when the wide receiver room's probably not really the same.
I agree. They drafted the wide receivers before they needed them. and to be able to fill the group, not to force them on the field. In my opinion. Scott, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there for sure. Bryant's got notes on it for sure. Bryant, what are you looking for from the Packers offense?
Yeah, you guys covered most of it, but I do think this is a game where we're just going to have to try to be explosive, and we're going to try to have to return back to that. Lions have allowed 21 passing touchdowns. They do have 9 picks, but Kirby had 3 of those. He's not playing this weekend, as we've alluded to. The other thing is just make sure you cover up the ball, because this team has forced 15 fumbles. So just make sure you're keeping the ball tucked away and being smart with that. But really, I just think we're going to have a pretty big game from Jordan and the wide receivers.
So my coaching section of this is word for word what I wrote down. This is not the game to putz around and be conservative. Stomp on these fuckers' faces and keep them there. Don't let them hang around.
Yeah. They're not the Vikings. They're much better than the Vikings, so I agree.
Yeah, you can't get up 10 points against this team and feel comfortable.
Good.
And feel good about it.
Scott said we need more play action. I couldn't agree more.
Yep.
I feel like I've been asking for it since like week 5.
Last year.
Last year too. They did it a little bit more in the beginning of the season when they were letting.
They did it a couple weeks ago. They ran a bunch of play action, like a decent amount.
Like I think it was like, but that decent amount was like 7.
Yeah.
Injuries to watch, kind of a CVS list. Reed, Quay practice. I feel like he's going to play. He's coming off that stinger. LVN, I don't think he's playing this week. He missed the second day of practice this week, and Matt LaFleur did say today that they thought he was more ready, and it came. He went out there and gave it a go. He didn't necessarily have a setback, but he realized he wasn't ready to go. I have a feeling
that he isn't where they hoped he would be.
Yeah. So I have a feeling with the long break after this game that there's a very high chance that you will not see him on Thursday, especially being he was a DNP the first 2 practice this week. Nixon did return to practice. Josh Jacobs, I think he's going to play. Matt LaFleur is pretty coy on Jaden Reed. I'll still be a little surprised if Jaden Reed plays, being the fact that he hasn't really had a full practice. If he does play, he's going to be very limited snaps, I would think. So the big ones I'm really watching. Oh, and Nate Hobbs returned to practice. So Nixon didn't return to practice. It was Nate Hobbs. But I feel like Nixon, he could probably play without practicing. He just has that stinger or whatever. And then for the Lions, you have Kirby Joseph, who isn't playing. Then you have Graham Glasgow, who would be a big loss at center, especially when we're talking about when, Micah Parsons lines up over center and tries to run people over. They're already down Laporta and Brock Wright. He had a pretty nasty tackle, if I'm not mistaken, this weekend. He hasn't practiced the first couple days this week. And then Khalif Raymond, who is their returner on punts, is out. So, maybe they get someone back there that's not that experienced and they make a mistake and we get something like that 2 weeks in a row. So if Khalif Raymond misses it, that's a loss for them because he is actually a pretty explosive returner.
He's good.
Yeah. So a lot of injuries to watch on this short week. It'd be huge if we can get in there, pull out, sweep these dudes, and then have a 10-day break before Chicago. I mean, yeah, that would be huge.
Yeah. Jake, what's the weather going to be like?
Dude, if they beat the Lions and the Lions go to 1-3 in the division, they're fucking cooked. They are cooked.
They're in trouble for sure.
Dude, they're cooked. The Packers
will probably cooked for the division. They're probably cooked for the division.
They'll have split with the Bears, who will be a couple of games out of them. They're cooked. They're done. They're not winning the division if they lose on Thursday. Also, the Lions fans get to watch the Packers beat them, and then they get to lose to Ohio. The state of Michigan gets to lose to Ohio State on a Saturday. So it's going to be a terrible sports weekend for the state of Michigan. So fuck you guys. I hate you. Weather report is they play in a dome because they're a bunch of pussies. Third dome game of the I don't really care. I don't like that. Don't talk a lot of shit about us. Screw those guys.
It's a family
third
show.
Dome game of the year. 3 or 4 one of the dome games. So get it. I'm not trying to be nice to them. I don't like them.
I get it because Lions fans, they got a taste of being good for 2 years and then started saying a lot of really out-of-pocket shit.
What they do with it?
Bring it on. I can say some out-of-pocket stuff too. Let's go.
What did they do with their good teams? Nothing.
They lost an NFC championship game, which they made fun of for the Packers for doing a bunch of times.
Oh, man.
Good job you participated.
Did they hang a banner?
Probably.
Didn't they hung a division banner like 2 years ago or 3 years ago or something?
Yeah, that's embarrassing, dude.
That's
That's
embarrassing.
to be honest with you.
Oh man.
All right.
I don't know. Bears fans have been pretty bad the last couple of weeks.
I like the juice back in the rivalry. We'll talk about that next week, but I like the juice back in the rivalry. I'm not gonna lie.
I do too. I just think
All
it's
of the
funny.
juice from the Minnesota rivalry is coming out, so
Yeah. It's gotta go somewhere.
yeah. All right.
God.
Simon, who's your X factor?
Say it with your chest. I have the Packers linebackers versus Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, who's your X factor?
Yeah, it's Jordan Love. Love is 2-0 with a 71% completion, 542 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on Thanksgiving games so far.
Give that man his turkey leg.
Yeah, I'll get there. He got screwed out of his turkey leg 2 years ago in Detroit because Greg Olson's slimy fingers. So go get one again. And then also in his last 2 games in Detroit, Jordan Love has been really, like last 2 games he's played there, have been really solid. I know they lost late last year, but he had a really good game. And then, of course, the year prior was when they won in Thanksgiving. So he plays well in that dome. So
You don't like Greg Olson?
no.
He stole his turkey leg.
Ever since he took that freaking turkey leg, I have not liked him. I was so
like
excited to watch Jordan Love in his first year starting eat a damn turkey leg on Detroit's field, and Greg Olson's fat ass ate it.
He's not even close to fat. He's ripped, dude.
I don't care.
You guys are so out of pocket this week.
Hey, it's rivalry week, bro. We're in the middle of
I'm just gonna jump in because mine kind of.
Is that the turkey leg versus Is that the turkey leg versus Greg Olson?
not that aspect of it. I
Call him
put
a game
Matt
again.
LaFleur. I need, and then I put in parentheses, assuming health. I need Matt LaFleur to let Jordan Love sling the rock, and I put with a lot of it to number 9. We've touched on it a couple times already. Christian Watson has been very, very reliable since coming back from his injury. Jake,
who's calling
I
the
was
game?
just looking up
Brady.
Kevin Burkhardt.
Brady, right?
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Yeah, that Tom
Aaron
Brady
Andrews,
doesn't need
Tom
anything but
Brady.
lettuce to maintain that figure, so he won't touch the turkey.
And Botox.
He won't touch the turkey.
Yeah.
Actually, he might. He'll just get surgery to get the fat taken out. But anyways,
Botox and cocaine.
So I have containing Gibbs. So versus the Giants, the Lions had 20 rush attempts and Gibbs had 15 of them. So he's pretty much he's the guy. He had 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. He forced 5 missed tackles. He had 12 targets for 11 receptions as well. He had 7 first downs, 3 runs of 15 yards, and 111 yards after contact. If you're not getting the point, this guy's pretty goddamn good. In losses, Gibbs has 47 rush attempts for 148 yards, and he averages 3.2 yards per carry and has 0 touchdowns. So when you take Gibbs out of the equation, they're pretty bad. Now, his stats in wins are pretty ridiculous. 108 attempts, 803 yards, 7.4 yard average, and every single touchdown he has this year on the ground, so 10 of them. He is important. Control number 0.
Yeah, that makes sense. Simon, what is your score prediction from the head?
All right. I'm optimistic we can win, but I have us losing this game 28-24.
Dead to me.
No.
Brian?
His Michigan roots are showing off.
31-28.
31-28, okay.
Jake?
I have 25-21.
I have 23-17.
Ooh, that'd be a little scoring.
All right. Simon from the head.
I have us winning 31-27.
That's from the heart, right?
Yep, hard.
Yes.
Sorry. If I said it wrong, sorry. All right.
No, what?
Scott said 27-24.
No, that was from the Bryant. What are you talking about?
You gave the first score that you gave us was us losing.
Yeah.
And then he said, then he asked for your head again.
Never mind.
We all know Simon does have 2 heads and no heart, but still.
Oh, yeah. We know that.
Do we all know that, or did just you know that, Brian?
All right, Brian, what's your score for the heart, bro?
34-24.
34-24.
Only if she's 5'3". Sorry.
I have 30-20. What do you got, Tyler?
I have 34-14. if we're talking in an all worlds ideal situation, I think the Packers can beat them by a lot.
I could see it.
I mean,
in an all things ideal scenario.
Wasn't that the score week 1 or close to that?
No, 27-13 was for week 1 score.
Yeah, I remember when they scored late. It was
close.
Touchdown.
Yeah,
that game could have been
just like 2 years ago on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that could have been 27-6. Yeah. Alrighty, Simon says, Bryant, I'm sure you got 3 of them.
Yep.
Okay. All right, rip your first one.
Okay, I put Love continues to carve it up on Thanksgiving, throwing for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
You get all festive with the wordplay.
Yeah, and he still doesn't get his turkey leg.
Yeah.
So
I hope they give him 2.
My aspects on offense, and I put the Packers get 6 red zone trips and score 4 touchdowns.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Those line up with the percentages, but the bold part is the 6 red zone trips.
Okay, so I have a Jordan Love one too, so I'll just say mine real quick. Jordan Love 2 passing and 2 rushing touchdowns.
Ooh.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, him rushing is just
that makes me wonder, like, okay, so let's say we get into, a tush-push situation. We can't run the craft shaft.
They're not gonna.
What do we do?
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick?
I think you just run the ball.
Just straight up run the ball? Put Kennard at fullback?
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it either.
All right. Brian, rip your second one.
I'll stick with the offense side. This is my bonus one, but the last 2 games Watson has played in Detroit. The one game he went for 114 yards. Unfortunately, he had a fumble. None of those this week. But so he went for 114 yards, then he went for 94 yards and a touchdown the other game. So he's averaged 104 yards. So and a touch, about a half touchdown. So I put that he'll be the first wide receiver for Green Bay to go over 100 yards in a game this season.
Does that not happen, really?
Only person that's done it is Tucker Kraft.
What was Watson's? No, didn't. Oh no, he had over 100 yards of total offense. I was thinking a Golden game where he had 18 rushing yards too.
I think Dobbs had like a 93 game.
Yeah, he had like a 90 something. I think Watson had a 90 some game too.
It was 91.
Yeah, I'll take it. I could see it.
Scott asked when Lloyd is coming back. I kind of feel like he might be the Bears game also.
Yeah.
Did they activate him?
No, his practice window is open, though, I think, isn't it?
No, I'm sorry. That's what I meant. Did they activate his practice
window? They have
window?
not opened his practice window.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
It might not be the Bears game even, but
But that's a lot of time in between the Lions game.
None of us know what he's doing off to the side. They could be like, hey, just go run with pads on over there where you're not technically part of practice, and then next week we'll have you practice.
Yeah, we could hear news about that on Friday.
Yeah. Also, you got to think about it. It's like Chris Brooks is playing well. Emmanuel Wilson's playing well. Josh Jacobs is obviously not getting cut. So they could be like, who do we cut? I mean, you could probably cut our second kicker at this point, but
excuse me.
Yeah. Jake, you got one for defense?
I do. Packers get 4 sacks and they get a touchdown from Javon Bullard.
Oh, that'd be sick.
I'll say mine because mine's kind of close, and it could all. So I put the Packers just like week 1 get 4 sacks and producing 1 strip sack fumble. So maybe Bullard scoops and scores it.
Scoops it up.
I have Goff is sacked 5 times. So.
Oh, that'd be awesome. If he gets sacked 5 times, we're probably winning this game.
I think so too.
Yeah. If mine happens, we're definitely winning.
The Packers score more than the Lions.
I do. That is, more points than the other team always produces a win 100% of the time.
That's true.
Yeah. So my bold prediction for this week, in week 1, the Packers held Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to 2.1 and 2.3 yards per carry on 20 carries for 44 yards. My semi-bold prediction is the Packers keep them under 100 combined yards again.
Rushing. Okay. I could see it.
If they hold them under 100 rushing yards, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Scott said Parsons and Wyatt and Gary get 2. So 3 guys with 2 sacks?
6, yeah.
That'd be
good.
That'd be nice.
Some of them might have war, but the way that ESPN and PFF count them.
I have a really bold one for the offense.
All right.
The tight ends get 2 touchdowns.
I mean, I guess
like a red
if
zone
our running game's not
like
working,
35-yard touchdown to Musgrave.
If the tight ends get 2 touchdowns, I think it's going to be on like little rollouts. Like
it would be like a pick play or something.
One of them's going to be Darian Kennard, who's going to be eligible as a tight end.
That'd be sick.
Oh, dude.
Is he like a super big guy, or is he like?
He's big.
He's an offensive lineman.
I mean, he's an offensive, but I mean, like,
if he's
an offensive lineman,
primarily tackle, he might be a little bit leaner.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. Hold on.
Scott said Fitzpatrick and Musgrave one each. I mean, if they.
Oh no, he's pretty big. He's 6'5", 320.
Fitzpatrick in the red zone and he's on Musgrave.
So he's the same size as Darnell Washington. He can run.
Dude, you saw that, right? Where he's like, I'm 311 pounds.
He said I'm 311.
Yeah,
like,
that dude's.
We all knew you were not 260, bro.
Did he win the angry runs that week?
Probably. I didn't look. I want to go rewatch.
He was a Packer.
Yeah. Still, same.
Alrighty. Well, we will be back again next Tuesday. We get to watch Packers in just 2 days on Thanksgiving, so we're very excited for that. Jake and I will be back tomorrow to discuss, unfortunately, the Bucs playing without Giannis, which is a bummer, but got to do it. And then the Badgers basketball and football teams, so we'll be back for that tomorrow. Other than that, the 4 of us will be back again next week to recap the Lions game and preview the first matchup against the Bears this season. So tune in again next Tuesday. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
One piece of advice: if the Packers ruin your Thanksgiving by losing, you can always bring up a politically charged conversation with your mother-in-law just to make your day better.
Packers lose this week, make it everybody else's problem is what I heard.
Yeah, make everyone miserable with you.
Thanks for all the comments, by the way.
Go.
Except for James and Josh. You guys can screw up.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Go Pack, go.
How many photos are on your camera roll right now? Enough to stress you out? Same. Here's what finally worked for me. Chatbooks. And they've got a podcast-exclusive deal that's honestly wild. 12 monthly mini photo books for just $12, plus free shipping. That's a full year of printed memories for less than a month of streaming. Go to chatbooks.com/get12. That's chatbooks.com/get12 and grab it before it's gone.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.